What's up, beautiful people? Welcome into CBS Sports HQ. I am Chris Williamson. He is Hakeem Dermish, and what a sizzling Saturday. We had thrillers in college basketball, the Army-Navy game coming down to 1 point, and in New York City, Hakeem, one of 4 college football stars would be walking away with something very prestigious.
You know, the season that Fernando Mendoza put together was suspenseful, but there was very little suspense to Saturday night's outcome. Fernando Mendoza is the first Heisman winner in Indiana history. Who's your daddy? Mendoza transferred in from Cal, and in his first season at Indiana, led the program to a perfect regular season and a Big Ten championship. Mendoza had multiple Heisman moments, orchestrated a game-winning drive on the road at Penn State to keep the Hoosiers' perfect season alive. Then in the Big Ten title game against Ohio State, Mendoza sealed the victory with a 33-yard pass on third down to his roommate, Charlie Becker. Mendoza leading the nation with 33 touchdown passes to just 6 interceptions, also rushed for 6 touchdowns. Mendoza's preseason odds were plus 5,000 to win the Heisman. Entering Saturday, the overwhelming favorite at minus 7,000. Here's a look at the voting results. As you see here, Mendoza earning 643 first-place votes. Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia second, Jeremiah Love third, and Ohio State quarterback Julian Sand finishing 4th. Fernando Mendoza winning the most prestigious individual award in college football. Again, the first Heisman winner in Indiana history. This Heisman Trophy segment is brought to you by Capital One. Welcoming 2-time national champ Damien Harris. And Damien, we can now officially call him Fernando Heisman Mendoza. What stands out to you about his season and what he was able to accomplish at Indiana?
Well, there's a lot of things that stand out, Hakeem. I mean, first of all, it's his poise under pressure. And we saw that at Penn State. We saw that atmosphere. We saw the 2-minute drive that he had to orchestrate to come back and win that football game. But he's just been phenomenal all season long. I said this the other day. Fernando Mendoza has played at a higher level than any other player in college football all season long, and he's done it consistently, week in and week out. He's the spark to this Indiana team, and I know they've got a lot of great players. He said it himself. This is a team full of misfits that found their way to the same place, and we've just bought in, and we've done things the right way. Well, Fernando Mendoza is the leader. He's the captain of this team. And again, when you play the way that Fernando Mendoza plays, when you play with the accuracy, the timing, the size that he has to see the field, his ability to process information pre-snap, post-snap, then you've got a guy who fires up a locker room full of guys who, quite frankly, probably felt unwanted for a majority of their career. They found a home in Indiana. They bought in. They joined arm in arm, and they've got Fernando Mendoza as their leader. So rightfully so, he won the Heisman Trophy. He's been the best player in college football all season. It hasn't been close. The votes showed that. And let's just say it. Fernando Mendoza going into the draft, he should be the #1 pick on everybody's draft board.
Well, that leads me right to my next question. Our Ryan Wilson has him going 3rd overall in the upcoming NFL draft. He's been projected #1 overall. He's 6'5", 225 pounds. Who would you compare him? And if you had the 1st overall pick this year, would you take him?
You know, with what I've seen so far in college football, I'll say it again. Fernando Mendoza has been the best football player in all of college football. Now, it depends. Are you a quarterback-needy team? I mean, it could be the Jets who, quite frankly, they need a quarterback. And everybody's been asking me, can the Jets finally draft a quarterback? Is Fernando Mendoza the guy to get to lead this franchise to the right direction? I'm not sure if that's the case because the Jets, their organization, it's in shambles as it is. But to compare him to somebody, I've got Jared Goff as my comp for him with a stronger arm and more mobility. Fernando Mendoza's 6'5", about 220. Jared Goff is 6'4", 215. They look the same. They have a similar style of play in terms of playing with poise, playing on rhythm, not being rattled by pressure, and just delivering the football when it needs to be, where it needs to be, when it needs to be there. It's not the flashy plays. It's not the sexy big arm. It's not the things that make you go, wow, but it's just the consistency day in and day out. What we see with Jared Goff with the Detroit Lions, how, you know, he's a game manager, but it's almost like he's one of the best in the business at that. That's how I see Fernando Mendoza with much more upside, again, because of his mobility and because of the arm strength that he has.
Jared Goff, of course, came from Cal. Fernando Mendoza transferred in from Cal to Indiana. I'd like to see him in Cleveland, Ohio, as a member of the Cleveland Browns. That's what I'd like to see. I'm not so
no more Shadur.
Not so sure. I'm not so sure on the quarterbacks that are in house right now. Mendoza and the Hoosiers await the winner of Alabama-Oklahoma in the college football playoff. Look, you know I'm a Julian Sand guy. He finishes 4th here in the Heisman voting. But Mendoza, man, he's just a team-first guy. His personality is genuine. Sometimes he comes off as, aw shucks, and he can't believe it. And I understand that some people are like, oh, he's kind of corny. I love his personality because the fact of the matter is he's a leader of men. And that's what you want here in high-level college football and in the NFL level. All right, so Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia, also a leader, undersized for an NFL quarterback, but he's proven you can't measure heart, determination, change the program, energy, passion, production. This year, 36 total touchdowns, leading the Commodores to their first 10-win season in program history. What do you appreciate about the way Pavia plays going against some of the best the SEC has to offer week in and week out?
It's his mentality, man. Everything about Diego Pavia's mentality is everything to love. I mean, I'm sitting here watching social media clips where people are asking, who is better, Cam or Diego Pavia? And he's like, Diego Pavia, of course. I'm not going to break the stick. Or we're talking about, hey, man, we just wanted another shot at the playoff just so we could play Bama again. It's that dog eats dog mentality that Diego Pavia has. He doesn't care about the fact that he's undersized. He doesn't care about the fact that he wasn't a lot of schools' first option at quarterback. He just cares about the fact that he gets the opportunity to play football. And it's kind of like that little chihuahua that always barks at the big dogs. You think you're a big dog until I come out and yap at you and I come out and bite at you. And that's what Diego Pavia does. He comes out and he bites. He's a thorn in the side of everybody that he plays, but it's because of that mentality, because of the toughness that he has. I mean, he's a phenomenal player when you talk about the quarterback position, what he does well. But Diego Pavia is a football player. He kind of reminds me of Cam Skattebo at the quarterback position. We saw what kind of culture Cam Skattebo left at Arizona State. Well, make no mistake, Vanderbilt, their program will never be the same because of the toughness, because of the mentality, and because of the identity that Diego Pavia, alongside of Clark Lee, have brought to the Commodores.
Pavia and Vanderbilt set to play Iowa in an upcoming bowl game. Well, a long-running streak was snapped tonight. Since the first Heisman was awarded in 1935, a running back has won the award in every year that's ended in a 5. That streak ends here in 2025 as Notre Dame's Jeremiah Love comes up short, finishes 3rd in the Heisman Trophy voting. Friday won the Doak Walker Award given to the best running back in college football. 11 straight games with a rushing touchdown. He broke Jerome Bettis' school record for total touchdowns in a season with 21. Damien, what can you say about the season Jeremiah Love put together, and do you expect him to be a top 10 pick in the upcoming NFL draft?
I mean, he had a phenomenal season. I mean, Heisman Award aside, we can look at Jeremiah Love and say this is one of, if not the best player in college football. I mean, he's dynamic when he touches the football. He's your prototypical first-round running back. He's got the explosiveness. He's got the home run speed. He can block and pass protection. He can be a third down back. Get out, run routes, get open, catch the football. I mean, this is a phenomenal football player. And I think one of the biggest shames in all of college football, I'm not sitting here trying to make a case for if Notre Dame should or should not have played, but I'll say it is a huge disservice to all the college football fans out there that we watched Jeremiah Love's final snap at Notre Dame and we did not realize that. That is a huge injustice for fans of college football that love watching great players play. But to answer your question about being a top 10 pick, I think he has the potential. I think once he hits the combine, whenever we see his numbers, whenever you just get to look at him naturally, watch him go through routes, watch him go through drills, I think that he's going to garner some of that top 10 hope as a pick. But we know, Hakeem, for running backs to be drafted in the top 10, it's incredibly hard. Hell, Ashton Jeanty, he put up historic numbers, some of the best since Barry Sanders, and he was still, there were a lot of questions of if he should have been a first-round pick. There's still a lot of questions about that now. So top 10, I'm not sure, but first-round pick, if he's not, then I just don't know no damn football.
All right. Well, Julian Sand finishes 4th in the Heisman voting. That's fine. He's going to finish 1st when all is said and done when he leads Ohio State to a national championship, okay? This night belongs to Indiana's quarterback, who goes from Fernando Mendoza to Fernando Heisman-Doza, 2-time national champ Damien Harris here with us on CBS Sports HQ. Not where you start, it's where you finish. One of my favorite phrases. It's true, right? 7 of the last 9 Heisman winners were transfers, including the last 4, Travis Hunter, Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams, and now the latest, Fernando Heisman-Doza. Who's your daddy?